Hey everyone, it's Emily with Hearty Soul. Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a large pile of pants to patch. I usually accumulate a whole bunch and will work on a whole bunch at one time, and today it looks like I've got about 10 pairs of pants that need patching. Some of them are friends and family members who drop off pants, a few of our own. We just kind of keep a pile, and when that pile accumulates to so much, then I sit down at the sewing machine and do batch patchwork. Today I'm going to show you how I put a patch into a pair of pants. Now, when I say a pair of pants, that also could mean like patching elbows on a sweater or patching on a shirt. This doesn't just have to do with pants. I happen to have a lot of pants that need patching today, but you can really patch anything after watching this tutorial. Today I'm going to teach you how to patch a pair of pants. One of the tips that I have for patching pants or doing any sort of patchwork is keeping the same kind of fabric on hand for when you need to patch something. So I happen to have a lot of jeans that I have to patch for people. So I keep a lot of scrap jeans around. So these jeans have been redlined, which in my world means that I typically sew patches on using white thread. When I've decided that the pants are so holey or thin, I will sew using red thread. And that red thread means that this is the last patch of this pants' lifespan. And after this, the next hole means the pants have to go. So if you get a pair of pants from me and they're redlined, that means that that's it. It's time to get a new pair of pants. So this pair of pants have been redlined, and I've gotten the okay from this person to utilize this pair of pants for patches. So you can tell that this pair of pants has been patched several times. So I'm going to use the thicker parts of this pair of pants to use as patches. So when I batch sew a whole pile of jeans, I like to go through and cut out all of my patches first, matching them to the pair of pants that it needs to go to. And then I can sit down on my sewing machine and just knock out all of the patches at once. Using a very thick piece or part of the patch is really important too. You don't want to go up into the inside or the top part of the pants. A lot of pants will thin when you get to this section of pants a lot quicker, just because it's where all of the wear and tear happens on a pair of pants. So I like to take a patch from like the knee down. So I know that this is thicker and probably hasn't seen a lot of wear. So I'll use a lot of my patches from like the knee down. All right, so now it's time to take my patching pants over, cut them apart, and match up all of my patches to the pants that need to get fixed. All right, so this is my stack of pants that need to be fixed. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pairs of pants that need fixing. Here we go. Kind of examine my pants to see where the weak spots are. So this, of course, is like the crotch that always goes out first. So this one, I can see where this area is here that needs to have a patch. And when I cut my patches off apart, I want to avoid the seam at the bottom or the hem of the jeans, because it's really kind of hard to sew through. And I also avoid the seam in the outer and the inner part of the jean also. I just skip that just because it's unnecessary to have to put that much bulk through a sewing machine. All right, I always make my patch bigger than the hole is itself, because if this area has thinned already, we want to make sure we're attaching it to a lot thicker part of the denim in this pair of pants. So there is two sides to denim, a darker side and a lighter side. Doesn't really matter. I like to use the darker side if my pants are darker. Let's see. And there's always, of course, back sides and pockets. So it's like this whole seat needs to be replaced here. So I could probably use this patch for both holes here. I can just put the whole seat in actually. As you can see here, I've got this coming apart here, and I've got this in the front coming apart also. So it might feel a little uncomfortable to the person wearing this, but I think the best thing to do is to put an entire new seat in this. So I'm going to actually split this in two the long way. And then I'm going to lay that right over top of my area with the right side down. And then I'm just going to pin it in place. I try to avoid pinning the seam of the denim just because it's thicker and it's harder to get a pin through. But I will sew on top of that seam because that's nice and thick and it's sturdy, and it will help keep this patch from pulling away from the seam itself again. Okay, so I've got the back side done. Just need a smaller piece for the front. Like that. And I think that's pretty good. I don't see, I think these pockets are probably starting to come out. So I might just reinforce them with a little piece here that I could cut in half and use to reinforce the pockets here. All right, so this pair of pants is all ready to go over to the sewing machine. But before I start sewing, I'm going to fit patches in my entire pile of pants first. That's the best way to become super efficient at doing this. And if you've got a big stack like I do, you know that it's easier to be efficient than to do one here and there at a time. All right, so this one's done. All right, when it comes to doing legs, I turn the pants inside out. So basically this entire upper thigh needs to be replaced. Another good thing to know when you are wearing a pair of pants is that if it takes just about as much patch as is left in this fabric of the jeans, that means it's time to get a new pair of pants. Okay. It's very important not to sew the leg together because that makes the pair of pants pretty much not wearable. If that happens, no big deal. You just get your seam ripper out. It's happened to me several times. All right, I've been given instructions to fix the back pockets on these pants. All right, so we want to make sure that we can replace this pocket because we're losing wallets, and very important tobacco cans out of this pocket. But if we put a piece of patch inside here, it would be very difficult unless you did a hand stitch all the way around this to not attach the pocket to the pants. So instead, what I do is take a pocket off of my pair of pants that is getting tore apart for this project, and I'm going to put that right over top of the old pocket, and then I'm going to sew along this and along the top, and that will give me a perfectly brand new pocket. It might not match these pants, but at this point I don't think that's a big deal. The bigger deal is not losing this goal, I guess. This is an entire seat of a pair of pants. So when it comes to doing round pockets, I want to make sure that I'm not blocking off the access to the pocket. So I'm going to sew directly right on this seam here. And then if you want, you can cut off the excess part of this patch that you didn't sew down, just to sort of eliminate anything that might be not as comfortable on the inside. And then what you could do at this point is to go back over this section and just do straight lines back and forth here. You could totally do that. A lot of times I will just go put these right side up on my machine and just stitch along here. So that helps make things a little bit more sturdy also. I'm gonna get rid of these threads because they aren't holding anything together anymore. So I'm going to go back again just with my straight stitch and sew that opening down. Make sure to clip all of my threads on the inside pants. And there you have a nicely sewn patch. So we've patched around this seat area and we sewed right on top of this pocket, so we still have access to this pocket. Had I actually sewn the actual dimension of the patch, we would have been sewing way over here, which would limit the access to the inside of this pocket. So I think that turned out pretty good. You also want to make sure all of your pants, all of the pairs of pants are just one layer here and not like a leg stuck up underneath there. Again, that's happened to me before. You just get your seam ripper out and snip the stitches and get right back at it. Patching a pair of jeans like this, there's a lot of fabric in here, so it's easy to get something stuck up underneath one of the layers that you're mending. Okay, so we got our two little pocket corners mended, and now we're going to fix the seat. Starting on the center seam, making sure all of my pants are straight and only one layer tucked up underneath there, nothing else. And the easiest way I can explain, like, what do you do with all this bulk? How do you keep it straight? I mean, a pair of jeans are not a piece of flat fabric. They're curved, and they have inseams and outseams and seats and lots of different curves. And you just do the best you can, and you just smooth the pieces as you go. And if it's not perfect, that's okay. Your main goal here is to cover the holes and to fix the rips. I think that looks good. I don't think we need to do any sewing over top. I think that patch there is just fine. And here's the back two pocket pieces that are repaired. And this pair should be good to go. And we could decide to go back and put this in. I just wonder if this is so thin here that if this person bends their knee, that this is just going to bust out straight away anyway. Maybe leaving it open will give this a little bit more give, and it will start to wear on this piece of denim versus this already really thin denim here. So I'm just gonna leave that actually. Thanks so much for joining me for the ultimate patching of denim blue jeans. I had several of you contact me and let me know that you wanted to learn how to put a zipper in something. So next week I'm going to teach you how to put a zipper into a pouch. Thanks so much for joining me, and don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of these really cool simple sewing series videos. Have a great week.